Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're tackling something that sounds complex but is actually all around us. Abstraction in object-oriented programming. If you've ever been puzzled by what abstraction means, or if you're preparing for an interview, this is the video for you. We'll break it down with simple examples, answer some common interview questions, and give you tips to make a great impression. Alright, imagine a car. When you look at it, you see one object that you can drive from place to place. You don't think about every tiny part inside, like the engine parts, the brake system, or the wiring. You just focus on the car as a whole and how to use it. In programming, abstraction is kind of like that. It's about using an object without getting lost in all the little details of how it works. Abstraction helps us manage complexity by focusing only on what's essential for us. What is abstraction in object-oriented programming? Abstraction is a way to simplify complex systems by focusing only on the most important parts and hiding unnecessary details. In OOP, we use abstraction to create objects that represent real-world things, allowing us to use them without needing to understand all the underlying details. So why is abstraction so important? Imagine if every time you used a car, you had to think about each individual part. Imagine keeping track of hundreds of pieces. Abstraction helps simplify complex objects so we can use them easily. In programming, it allows us to handle complex systems without getting bogged down by each detail, which is especially important when building big applications like social media platforms or banking systems. Why do we use abstraction in programming? We use abstraction to simplify complex systems, making code easier to understand and work with. It helps break down large projects into smaller parts and allows us to work on each part without worrying about how everything is built inside. Let's go a bit deeper with what's called hierarchical abstraction. Imagine that each part of the car, like the engine, brakes, and sound system, has its own set of parts working together within the whole car. Each of these systems is a subsystem that does a specific job. By focusing on each system separately, we can manage the complexity of the entire car without getting lost in the details of every single part. It's like a family. Each member has a specific role, and they all contribute to making the household run smoothly. By breaking down responsibilities, things become easier to manage.
Can you give an example of hierarchical abstraction? Hierarchical abstraction involves breaking down a system into layers. In a car, we have different systems like the engine, brakes, and interior systems. Each of these is abstracted to handle its own function, and they work together to make the whole car operate smoothly. In programming, abstraction means creating classes and methods that allow us to perform actions without knowing all the technical details behind them. For example, we might have a car class with methods like start, stop, and play music. When you use these methods, you're interacting with the car as a whole without needing to understand exactly how each action happens behind the scenes. Pretty cool, right? How is abstraction implemented in code? Abstraction is implemented by using classes and methods. For example, we can create a car class with methods that represent actions like start and stop. Each method performs a specific action without exposing the code details to the user. Abstraction brings a lot of benefits to programming, especially when working on large projects. Here are a few major ones. 1. Simplifies complex systems. You only need to know what each part does, not how it works inside. 2. Reusability. Once we create an abstract object, like a car, we can use it whenever we need it without rewriting code. 3. Easier maintenance. Since each part of the program has a specific job, it's easier to find and fix errors. What are the benefits of using abstraction in object-oriented programming? Abstraction makes systems simpler to understand, allows us to reuse code, and makes it easier to maintain programs because each part has a specific function. It helps improve efficiency, especially in large applications. Java, one of the most popular programming languages, relies heavily on abstraction. Why? Because abstraction helps build large, reliable systems. In Java, we can create objects and methods to handle complex tasks without getting into the nitty-gritty details each time we need to use them. For example, when creating a bank account class, you can use methods to check balances or transfer funds without rewriting every small detail every time. Why is abstraction emphasized in Java? Abstraction is key in Java because it makes the language efficient and user-friendly for building large, scalable applications. By creating classes and methods, we can perform complex operations without having to understand every detail.
All right, you're now well-versed with abstraction. But what about interviews? Here are some tips to help you ace questions on abstraction. 1. Use simple examples. Don't go too technical. Use relatable examples like a car or an appliance. 2. Focus on benefits. Talk about why abstraction is useful, simplifying complex systems, reusability, and maintenance. 3. Mention real-world applications. Interviewers love hearing how you connect theory to practice, so mention applications like social media apps, banking software, or even games. Why is abstraction essential in object-oriented programming? Abstraction is essential because it allows us to simplify complex systems, focusing only on necessary parts. It makes code easier to work with, improves reusability, and enhances maintenance by organizing each part with a specific responsibility. And that's abstraction, simplified. Remember, abstraction is everywhere, whether it's a car, a computer, or a code object in Java. It helps us make complex systems easier to use by focusing only on what we need and hiding the rest. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more tech breakdowns, and share this video if you think someone else could benefit. And let us know in the comments if you have any interview questions on abstraction or any other topic.